Hello. Hey, Vlad. How's it going? So Adam is handling some quick tasks before diving into the real work today. He'll update this command when he's done with quick tasks. Hey, Bunders. Hey, Sap. Okay. Yeah, so there are a bunch of quotes I wanted to add. Well, I wanted to first see what is the format for quotes that I've been using. Yeah, I've been putting it in brackets like this, that, and I got the go ahead to do that. Add quote. Yeah, cool, okay. Yeah, so let's add all the different quotes. Hey, I'm Perry. Hey, Sam. Got it. There we go. I should probably fix some of the formatting on this stuff. Yeah, it's pretty good. Hey, Freak Technic. There we go. All right, spam done. So put a limit on how many emails can be sent out per day. We're just filing these gray items, the ones that are in gray, of course. Yeah, let's close out of some of these news items as well. Updated that. Wrote a tool to recover beta script. Oh yeah, I wonder whatever happened with this thread. Let's take a quick look. Commented 6 hours ago. Speed issues with the ribbon. New preview containing latest changes. No Twitch, that's not how this works. Welcome back, Freak Technic. Hey, Nuffly. Hey, yeah, Turbo Dave, I added it. I forgot the number, but you should be able to see it in the chat log there. Wasn't subbed for a month. Yeah, there's a 30-day flex time there. And I am aware of the new Firefox release, yeah. Quantum. So wait a second. Is this including what this person did? Oh, God, that's frustrating. All right, I'll have to keep waiting for this to be finished. Oh, no problem, Turbo Dave. It's not like I was holding up all of development or something for that quote. Yeah, I should probably try Firefox Quantum. One of my biggest problems with Firefox right now, in fact, my biggest problem with Firefox is probably about 50% of the time I start it up, maybe a little less than that, but still significant enough, like 40%. It'll ask me, do you want to start Firefox in safe mode? And I've reinstalled Firefox. I've looked up why this happens. It's because apparently it doesn't close down correctly the last time it shut down. But I don't think that's the case. It's really annoying though. That's right, Turbo Dave. Okay, so the last thing to do is this one. Add comments for the regular figure it out. Maybe mention the expanded version or just what this does exactly so that people know. Trust that. Okay, well, I don't know where to put this exactly. Maybe just on the to-do list. It's not that hard to do. Face Rocket and antimatter tape. Okay, well, that's that. So today is going to be a little bit of a continuation of yesterday, and then we're going to also start some new things. I don't remember where I wrote any of this. Oh, post-beta, that's right. So we got down to the last few items here, and then the next thing... Hey, Artie. Hey, Dino. Hey, Pawn. Everyone's dropping in. There won't be a new version of Botland online for probably another day or 3. I'm not totally sure. But what I was going to be working on was this document, which I believe I have a shortened link to. 22 hours ago. Yeah, it was this one. So we want this in our today command. And I also want to take a look at it. We are still on this task, disable traffic to account server so that upgrades can go smoothly. Then we're going to do, and part of why I'm still on this task is I deviated from it a little bit yesterday, and I started tackling some refactoring, which is I think still pretty important. Always maintain a connection to the overseer, we'll probably do today. Make sure the client is on the right version, we'll probably do today. And maybe we can figure out immediate notifications as well. The Lerna changes, I think I gotta be psyched up for that. That's gonna be pretty annoying, difficult to do. Every time you say pawn, that would be understandable if I had like a thick accent or something. That making defenders move randomly doesn't really solve their defenses being helpless. I guess a little bit, not like tons. Yeah, that's fine. I actually had commented on this on GitHub. Let me see if I can find it really fast. Where is it? Defense useless. Yeah, I commented on it here, and I'll link this to you. Is it snowing outside? I don't know. I need to open the blinds. But I don't think so. It wasn't cold enough yesterday for it to be snowing today, I think. Right, what I'm saying is they can sound the same with the right accent, but I don't have that accent, so you wouldn't expect that, right? Adam doesn't look outside. I went outside yesterday. It was raining. It was actually, I was just walking to the gym, and by the time I got there, my jeans were kind of like soaked from the knee down because my rain jacket didn't help. Kind of helped in like the thigh area, but yeah, not effective. I needed an umbrella or something. I didn't have one. Anyway, yeah, so Free Technic, this, yeah, you had seen this comment. Yeah, so I'm okay with it not being the best. I was okay with it even not being the best before, but I got a lot of bug reports about it. So I wanted to do something to stem that. If they're not moving how people expect, they should just update that. Okay, so handle gray text is done. Update today. So, yeah, I wanted to get back into going to the gym, and I think that not going because of the weather is actually a bad excuse. I will say this. It was pretty bad weather, and the gym was packed. God, I hate Monday nights. It's so hard to just find space to do whatever you want to do. And I guess everyone else just drives to the gym, so they don't really care about the weather. But yeah, that's really frustrating. Am I able to do a British accent? I don't tend to do accents on stream so that I don't embarrass myself. Hey, Sounded Gaming. And yeah, a lot of people were talking about EA's fiasco yesterday. So Adam is working on infrastructure stuff. See the bolded items here. Plotline's always going to be online. I should probably just get rid of that from the edit today. These changes will be necessary to allow for rolling out updates more easily. Also, make sure to check out vacation and feedback if you haven't seen them. There we go. Hey, Wanted. Do I drive? I mean, I do. I really don't like driving. I am not like scared or anything. I just think it's a waste of time. And I just don't enjoy it. But yeah, I like walking. Unfortunately, I don't really have the best rain wear, and we're in the like 6 months of raininess here in Washington. Oh, I see pawn. Yeah, I find that it's easier for me if I ever have workout equipment where I live to not work out. Okay, so I had an error message show up, and I said where I left off, I'm having 2 show up. I didn't figure out the best way. And then I realized, no, maybe 2 just should show up. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go into this API, set exposed servers to false. We're going to try to just edit our defense. And it says the botland servers are online but unavailable, probably because they're being upgraded. Try again over the next hour or so. And that's it. Oh, apparently that's just going to keep happening. for every single API. I guess we technically don't want that for the ones that are this is going to be annoying. There are some APIs that happen passively. So if I just stay on the screen for long enough, we'll start seeing error messages. And I think they'll just keep compounding. Hey, Zachariah. Yeah, so that by the time you finally come back to the game, you'll have like 60 prompts open telling you that there's an error. Okay, so I should definitely fix that. So an API should know whether it's passive, I guess. APIs are not really entities here, though. So what I'm kind of hoping is going to happen, and this is really hard to test, is we need this to happen another time. Yeah, there it goes. So now if I click OK, we have another one. I click OK here. We have another one. I click OK. And then it finally closes. So yeah, I don't think any user expects to have to click the same error message 3 times. Exponential retry decay. While I could do that, the amount of time I'm going to be upgrading servers for is not too terribly long. I mean, on average, it should take about 5 to 10 minutes. So, and I don't want multiple error messages even if I have a retry decay or really anything else. So I think what I'll do is just for these passive APIs, I'll just mark them as passive and not have them use that common error handler. Let's see. Does this for sure not show up even when a user's connection drops? Right, for sure. So here's what's happening here. Client to account server is the connection. So there are 3 cases. 1, everything works. There's nothing to really talk about there. 2 is like a connection problem, in which case that's a different error. This is like error path number 1. And then 3 is the whole servers aren't exposed, which is the account server is online, but is explicitly returning a 403 with a particular error code. So there's no way to accidentally hit this. You have to be able to connect to the server and it has to return this specific error code. And that happens when I'm upgrading. Yeah, I saw that, Sep. Seems a little shady. Hey, why not? So what I think I'll do, any of those passive ones that we have here, I wonder if there's a stack trace that prints out from this. Fetch battle log. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, so fetch battle log needs something special. Hey, Wraithy. This is a passive API. I'll write this over here. Hey, Priceless Nightmare. Wait until Botland has real money involved. Wait, I laugh about what? Oh, about EA. Well, okay, if I were EA, honestly, what I'd be thinking is a lot of people are having this knee-jerk reaction, and I probably would want to stem the blood flow of all these sales. But I think removing the refund button is a bad way of doing it, and they're a big enough company where they should be able to handle everything. But yeah, if this happened to me in Botland, it would mean that I did something really bad. Because I don't think people would rally against a single developer making a game that isn't trying to do anything scummy. Alright, here. So, common error handler that throws. We don't even really want to do this. We want to just do this dot throw response as error. We explicitly do not use the common error handler here, because this is a passive API that gets invoked in the background. And users shouldn't have 3 to 4 error messages stack. Yeah, it's the top right one. Just click request refund. Okay, so we're gonna log in. We get these, it's unavailable, and then server's not exposed. That second one shouldn't happen. When trying to log in, seeing servers not exposed is a little weird after the first message. Hey Zul. Back in the day when you bought a game, you get all content and updates for free. Yeah. I mean, I liked back in the day when the market wasn't super saturated. You'd buy a game and you'd try to 100% it because there was no other game competing for your attention. I think some of these changes are going to be a little bit hard to do. Let's try getting this to all be correct. I don't know how important it is because some of these things are just... We got to wait on this page for 30 seconds. Some of these errors are only going to show up when I'm upgrading. So if the flow isn't the greatest, well, at least you know why the servers are offline. Hey, Captain Handful. Actually, I guess I don't know what the CPT is for Captain. I don't know if I ever called you Captain before. All we're waiting for right now is there going to be an error message that prints out. It should print out. It shouldn't. Yeah, that shouldn't have happened. Yeah, it definitely shouldn't have happened. Can I read property block coin of undefined? Oh boy, get user details. Okay, guess we gotta do for that too. Had a base camp. See comment for common error handler. And probably get user details as well. Although not always. So we're gonna write common error handler here. Okay, so for passive APIs that run in the background because there are no WebSockets yet. You probably don't want to... Well, there are a couple different ways we could do this. We could just cut out the passive APIs eventually. You probably don't want to invoke this at all so that you don't get many copies of the same dialog box. Yeah, there we go. Get user details and fetch battle log. So we're going to write passive here. Put this at the top. And then down here, instead of using common error handler that throws, we'll say throw responses error. That'll hopefully work. Actually, I think I'm only visiting for 2 weeks. What is that second? Let me see. Actually, there's a date picker in Sublime, right? Yeah. So if we look at, it's the 13th to the 2nd. Yeah, I guess it's just because well, anyway, yeah. It's the time that it is. That's already been decided. Hey, Ilvers. Want to tell you that the first ranked battle was weird because Defender bots did nothing, just stood in place, not attacking. No, that's whoever you played against just happened to have that defense. The game is entirely PvP right now. So if you ever find something that's weird on the other player's side, it's that they just made a weird defense. Now, ideally, what would happen there, and what probably did happen, is you won, so your rating went up, and then by your rating going up, now you're playing against better players. So you hopefully didn't run into that more than once, for example. Okay. So we should try this out, which means we need to set this to true at first. And then we set it to false. And again, we just wait. Hey, Smooth. Yeah. What we should see happen, again, is there should be red on the window on the right, but seemingly nothing should happen in the window on the left. Basically, I just want to make sure that an error dialog doesn't pop up. So in about, I don't know, 5 seconds at this point, it's going to try fetching the battle log and any user details. Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, so it says server's not exposed. But there's no error message over here. Now, if you actually tried clicking something like this, it would say, hey, there's an error message. And then unfortunately, yeah, you'll just start getting random errors after that. And maybe I just don't do anything about those random errors. If you click this and you actually read this, you would probably be like, oh, okay, try again over the next hour or so. Maybe I even write a note there. You might see more error messages right after this one that you can just ignore. Because if you try hitting update or something here. Yeah, okay, I think that's fine. Hey, gun dogs. Yep, doing infrared work. Yeah, I think I'm going to change that. Hey, Baki. I can't save. Why is that? Wait, what? What's the error message you're getting? Like, what is leading you to believe you can't save? Let me just try this out, too. And maybe there's something obvious that I'm missing here. Oh, darn it. I turned this off. Hang on a second. No, it seems fine to me. Could not save your defense to the account server. No error provided. Okay, let me take a quick look at the account server and see if anything weird is going on. Cannot delete a script that you don't own. Interesting. Oh boy. Okay, hang on a second. Don't refresh the page or anything. I need to look into this and make sure there's no like major problem here. I thought I'd fixed this bug. Cannot delete a script that you don't own. Yeah, there it is. Hang on. Okay, I found player 558. Is that you? Select ID name from users where ID equals 558. No, that's somebody else. But somebody else is running into this problem too. Actually, no, a screenshot isn't going to matter here. At least I don't think so. Oh man, this is not good. Hang on a second, I gotta keep looking at this, and I gotta do stuff off screen. How could this happen? Wait, there is one thing. I need to know that, and I also need to know also what client version are you on. You should be able to see this if you press F12 and look at elements. Well, it says he's trying to delete a script he doesn't own, but that's not actually what's going wrong here. It's trying to delete a script that you do own, and it's just, okay, here we go. Yeah, so to find out what version you're on, look at elements and tell me what the first three numbers here are in the HTML. 022, for example. Hey yo. And Jupiter. Oh, this is bad. Because Skidog ran into this issue and then I fixed it. Okay, yeah, you're on the newest version. Alright, well, thank you for telling me that stuff. Let me go take a look at this now. 0.2.2. So newest client version And then I just need to know, yeah, your username is that. Okay. Oh boy. And then the last thing, do you remember what you did to get into this state? Had you upgraded your defense? Did you delete a script that you already had saved? Or was it brand new? Hey, nice. You didn't upgrade your defense. Okay. Not upgrading defense. Any other transferring techniques used, like WebSocket? In the back end, there are sockets, and there used to be WebSockets for even the front end, but then I got rid of those because I changed how botland was laid out. Never would have guessed that username. And more about that is there, nice. About the change in game design. I don't know if you've seen that already. Okay, so then let's go take a look. What is this person's ID? 425. So 425, do we see that here anywhere? Aha. Oh man, this is gonna be tough. I need to get this file off of this machine. Yeah, how do I do that? I did update my defense and added some scripts. I changed stuff. I could reproduce it, save anything else, but not the script. Yeah, okay. Yeah, interesting. And there's no need to look at that if you don't want to, by the way. Okay, let me get this off of the server somehow. Hang on a second. Yeah, this is rough. This is definitely rough. Debugging a problem. My other screen, since there's sensitive information involved. Okay, getting a file from another machine. We do something like this. So what I need to do is figure out what's the login information. I gotta figure out actually everything. I don't know what any of this stuff is. So let me form this off screen. SCP, I don't even know what the username is. I guess BL deploy. No, but they don't have a password. And what is the directory? Hey, Andoran. And hey, Mike. /home/BL deploy /a.txt. So this is what we need, and I just need to figure out now what key do I have to specify for this. Formatted for AWS. Oh wow. I wrote this all down. Okay, so if I just copy paste this into a command prompt, let's try this. Again, I'm gonna use this off screen. I know I'm just. Oh, I got it. Okay, now we take this, and I do even this part off screen now, and I should be able to figure out what went wrong. Hopefully. God, this log is gigantic. Yeah, there's a bunch of issues here though. Hang on a sec. Got a defense to validate. Successfully validated defense. I wonder where it didn't successfully validate. Guess I can keep this over here. Hey Malice. Paula thinks I have 27 victories. I only did one attack yesterday that I didn't finish. Yeah, I think that's been reported. Okay. Let me continue to look through this. Guy defense to validate. Come on. What's going on here? Well, what happens when... Yeah, let's do this. Hey, King Zakin. How's it going? Player details. I know these print out somewhere. I just apparently don't know where. Oh man, yeah, I don't know where this is. Validate defense. Do we not print this out? Got a defense to validate from player. And then if it fails, what happens? Nothing specific? That's not good. What if this thing fails over here? Could not validate defense. Yeah, it's just going to give you that same error message then, huh? Could not validate. Yeah, there it is. Cannot delete a script that you don't own. But I don't have the details. I had done this somewhere, though. I know I wrote this out. Where was it? There's somewhere where I print player details. But the only place that I find... It's in Blueprint and Script Validator. Player details. Does this ever print out? I know for sure this is going to get printed out. Hey, Hacks. Yeah, somewhere in the code base is this. Can this bug be caused by not verifying their email? I don't think so, because this bug has happened before, and I found one of the causes. Yeah, here it is. It's in Phase Simulator. Setup arena. But it doesn't simulate a phase. That's our problem. So I don't have any logging around this. Oh boy. Alright. I wonder what the cause of this bug was last time. Because a couple people have run into this bug. So let's just close that a.txt, wherever that is. Probably delete that too. Oh, what do I do? Here's all the information that we had. What's the repro? Yeah, I don't know what it is exactly. It has to do with deleting a script. Skidog had run into this before. When Skidog did it, it was with a brand new script, I think. And I wrote this down somewhere. Oh, I think I filed a bug on it actually. So we should be able to find the bug. Where is it? I should have written delete right in the bug. Yeah, here it is. Okay, commit hash. This was 6 days ago. So that puts us at the 8th. So it was this one. Yeah. So it was a script deletion issue where you couldn't attack after deleting a script in a particular way. I didn't write any more details about this. It had to do with a placeholder script ID. I wonder if that's still what's messing up somehow. It's possible. No, I don't think it can be a desync. I think this is a problem with the client not knowing what script ID you have. But this code is online, so this has already been pushed. I guess the really simple thing that we could do here is test this. No, I would have tested this though. Yeah, let's just try it out. Let's try it out anyway. Also, before I forget, I was going to write down something over here. Oh yeah. Add to the server is not exposed error that another error will probably print after this. And you can ignore it. Okay, let's go try this. We're gonna just rerun this. I have this thing set to true, so this shouldn't be too bad. We're gonna refresh the page. We'll keep this open over here. We'll keep this open over here. So we log in as Adam2. We make sure we have a defense, good. So attack own defense, create bot, click new script, click update, click create for the blueprint, edit the bot again, edit the script, delete the script, update the blueprint, try to attack. Okay, so that works. This is the code. I wonder if this exact same thing happens, but in your defense. Didn't you mention you're getting a new monitor? What is it? Oh, it broke. Well, it was broken when it arrived, I should say. It broke somewhere in transit. So yeah, it's currently sitting in a box downstairs because I'm waiting for the company to tell me how to send it back to them. They need to give me an RMA number, and they haven't responded since like Thursday. Well, maybe these same steps over here lead to this being screwed up. So we create a script, hit create, edit the bot again, edit the script, delete the script, update the blueprint, and maybe we put this in our defense and try to hit save. No, that works. There's got to be some other issue then. I wonder if it has to do with that placeholder ID. For us to even figure this out though, we need to do this. This gets set to null when we delete the script. It has to be, okay, so what do we know? We know that this is -100. So because it was -100, we know this has to be a new script that was deleted. It had to have been. Because -100 is the temporary ID that we assign on the client. So the repro steps that I know of are edit your defense, make a new script, delete the script. There's something that happens in between that we're missing, obviously. I don't know what that is. What if we do something like that? Oh, that works. We make a new script and we assign it to the blueprint somehow. Hey, Gavin. Yeah, so we make a new script. I wonder if they ever press duplicate script. I wonder if that had to do with this. What if I do that? What if we put down something here, figure it out for me, and I hit duplicate, and we hit save and duplicate, and then cancel, and then this turns into new script. Maybe that's what went wrong. We hit update and try to save that. No. Oh man. Yeah, wow, this is gonna be tough. Because I don't know what happened here exactly. Hey, code 34. We can't duplicate this because this one doesn't exist yet. But we can when... No, that had a script. That's why we could duplicate it. Okay, so then let's save this one as test. Then we'll go in and we'll duplicate it. And we'll delete the duplicate. And then delete the current one. But then placeholder ID isn't going to get set there. No, this is all working. What part failed again? It was saving the defense. Save the defense. This fails with the error that you can't delete a script that you don't own. Cannot delete a script that you don't own. Let's go take a look at that. Assert player already owns object. So what we do is we go through your player scripts and we just make sure that that ID exists. Okay, that's not the issue. The issue is that we're trying to delete a script you never had. Hey, Pickle. Also, you can't possibly own a script of -100. So this means, what does this mean? Well, okay, one thing, a conclusion I can definitely draw from this is we shouldn't be sending deletions for temporary IDs. That should never make it to the server. But that doesn't tell me necessarily the cause of this bug. Can't possibly own a script at -100, so this means the deletion is unnecessary. How would that happen though? How do we even bundle up deletions? There's some blueprint util that I wrote. This is no longer needed. Seriously? Get changes? Yeah, here it is. Changes. So I make one of these and I get what the deletions are. This dot changes dot deleted scripts. Here it is. Validate deleted scripts. So I go through all the deletions that I have and assert that they already own that. Does this happen on a client? Where do I send this stuff? Blueprint and script changes. This is on exporting your defense. And here it is. Redux util. Get script changes. Here it is. So we're sending over a deletion that's not really a deletion here. Because you had this script. Oh, there are other ways that this could happen, I guess. Your backup information has a script with an ID of -100. Your new script does not. Okay, well that's important information too. Let's get rid of all this stuff. Is what sends the deletions. This. Is it true that it's impossible to make a bug-free program? No, it's not true. You can just make an empty file and there you have a bug-free Python program. Okay, get script changes what sends deletions. Yeah, so Redux util. This checks your old scripts against whatever the new scripts are, and it must have seen that backup information .scripts contained a script with ID -100 in order to mark it as a deletion. Can't seem to trigger by randomly adding and deleting scripts. That's not me trolling you. That's the truth. It's a proof by contradiction. If you say, is it true there's no such thing as a number between 5 and 7? And I'm like, yeah, there's 6. There you go. Then I don't need to prove that there's infinite numbers between 5 and 7 that are not 6, even though that is true. I wonder how this got here. Yeah, this is part of the question. How could this have a script with an ID -100? Well, let's find out where backup information gets used. It's in the workbench reducer. Backup information is, I believe, when we manually say that we want to save to this. So clone workbench. Yeah. Which brings us to here, clone workbench, which gets called from a few places. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 places. So initialize redux replay state. I wonder if where does this get called? Hey, Fluffy Wheel. This is gonna be tough. Yeah, I wonder if it had to do with watching a replay though. I wonder if that even gets called over here. Let's just put a breakpoint in it. Initialize redux replay state debugger. So that was one place. There are other clone workbench places too. One is here, set up for loading own defense. That's fine. Received opponent details, that'll never be called here. And trigger export defense is where this gets called. But this is only when it was successful, so we don't worry about that either. So the question is, does this get hit in the defense at all? If it does, maybe we can try to figure out how that happened. And the only ways that I imagine it would get hit is if we actually hit test here and it doesn't get hit. No, then I don't know what else would do this, because that's all I can think of. Yeah, there's nothing else there. Okay, fine. And I gotta write myself another note. When we get to the Slack item of simulation mode, make sure there are no problems calling clone workbench while in edit defense mode, simulation mode. This function, I'm worried that that function is going to stop us from being able to save the defense correctly in the end. But that'll be something we figure out later. Hey, Telekin. I don't think I've seen you here before. Welcome to the stream. And if you're curious about what's going on here, you can check that out. Right now I'm trying to fix a bug that someone ran into that I just don't know how this would happen. And I guess there are a couple of ways we could have gotten in this state. So one potential, I guess, possibilities here was one, a poorly cloned workbench. Two is improperly applied IDs from the server. Oh, nice token. Okay. And clone workbench only came from those 4 spots to begin with. And we put a breakpoint there and we didn't find anything. And just to make sure that our breakpoint worked, we could go do this. And it should get hit as soon as I hit commence. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so we know that that's getting hit. Set it for loading defense, I don't think that matters. Unless maybe you left and you came back. But by leaving, it should restore the workbench. Received opponent details. Yeah. Maybe... Did you change something regarding this? No, it wasn't an old version. Because I asked and it was 022. How'd you make the link between Pixie.js and React? I have to make a little prototype for school with these 2 technologies. Oh, really? Is it like an assignment that you have to do this? It's interesting. But for me, I don't think I did so in like the greatest way. In general, you would make a component that wraps everything in Pixie and gets any updates you need there and just has access to your store. Wow, well, that's interesting. Yeah, but I think when it comes to homework stuff, definitely talk to your classmates and your teacher, try to figure out how best to do things. Okay, what could you do? Maybe you try to just put a breakpoint in clone workbench. That's probably the best way. You try to publicly attack someone else. It's some shady. So we log into Atom and we get an attack link. Then we log into Atom 2 and we try to use that attack link while we're already editing our defense. So there's one clone workbench, that one's fine. There's another. But that actually worked. What if I go back to my defense? Also, that just totally exited me out of there. No, I think that's fine. Oh man. Out of curiosity here too, what happens if we did this and I delete a blueprint here and then I try navigating away? That's not good. Yeah, that's not good. I wonder what happens there. My defense is just destroyed? What? I wonder if this is what happened. Because this is really bad. Like, really bad. And this would probably lead to issues on the account server as well. Let's try that out. Successfully saved. Well, that's a bug. But that's not the bug. Well, it might not be the bug. No, I don't know if I found it for sure. Our bot here is gone. But maybe they tried doing this. Joining a public attack link while editing your defense doesn't warn you about leaving and then leads to a bunch of crazy issues. So wait, let's try that again really fast. Is the dev server running on this machine? Or you have a home server for it? I'm not totally sure what you're asking. Localhost is dev and AWS has prod. So yeah, it's running on this machine. Okay, let's get the repro for this. We paste this in here, we hit attack, resume match. Then we come back to our defense. And now I have a second blueprint here? What? Is that what really happened? No, I don't know. This is really weird. I guess it's if you have change. Yeah, it was if you had changes. So it's go in here and delete this. And then try entering a, let's delete this one too. And then try entering a public attack. This is producing a bunch of errors already though. Why? Oh, because I'm already in a match, of course. Okay, so I hit resume. This we can safely ignore. I go back to my defense. And yeah, everything's just gone. So 1, edit defense. 2, delete a blueprint. 3, join public attack. 4, go back to your defense. The blueprint you deleted is still gone. Hey, Sergeant Hacker. This could have contributed to this problem, but I won't know for sure. Yeah, I wonder if there's any other way to do this. So basically, if anything abruptly takes you out of edit defense, then this could be a problem. Because we were storing the workbench before leaving. And that's because we're not even checking for changes before leaving. Pretty sure I always assumed attacks were started from the news page, not from the settings island. I don't have an explanation for this yet. And I guess I don't necessarily need an explanation. There are two things I can do. Yeah, conclusion number one was here. Conclusion number two is we should have logging for this. There is another player who ran into this bug though. What was it? Try delete. We could just search for -100 here. Well, one thing when it comes to logging that we can do here is this. Validate defense. Could not validate defense. We should say what player this is for. Message object contains something. What is it? Player details? Serialized player details? Really? Maybe just print out the whole thing. Could not validate defense. Player details. Yeah. Except for, that's not what we want to do. We want the whole message object. That way at least we'll have more data about this. I don't know how much this is going to help me. It'll just say that we had this script and that the player's trying to delete it. It won't tell me how we got into this case. Like 2 HP. Nice. Is there anything else we could do here to maybe try to figure out why this is happening? Is there anywhere else that we use this value? Where do we use it? Here, of course, in create blueprint. As long as this is always set correctly, it shouldn't matter what it's set to. Set script details based on selected blueprint. And when can we set this to something else? When we make a new script. I guess that's a possibility. So it needs to be, I guess I'll just look into this, then I'll just add more logging or something. I'm not sure. But when you delete the script, when you make a new script, update. Shouldn't it be when you delete it as well? Or create? Yeah, it is when you create it. Set placeholder script ID, script docket ID. How does that work? That seems weird. The script would have been given an ID at some point? Or does that happen? Yeah, that's strange. Let's put a breakpoint here. I don't think this is the bug, and I'm probably just not aware of where this thing gets created. Let's try this. We make a new script. We just hit update. This breaks in, and now script. Oh, I see. It has the temporary ID. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, fine. This will just be a client assigned ID. It's just temporary ID. It should be exactly the same, in fact. So we just search for temporary ID. It should be -100, not defined. Well, I'm guessing it's whatever it was up here. So if we just try this one more time. New script, create. Up here it is -101. Down here it is -101. Yeah, so those match. I don't think that'd be a problem at all. Which means that comment is really not that helpful either. I put the breakpoint, the second breakpoint was here. Remove that. Yeah. So this will be the same as temporary ID was. And that gets set to the, okay, that's fine. Hit claim it. And then, yeah, on create, on update, and on delete. That's it. Those are the only ways to do this. I guess there's also start new script. Where does this get called from? How you doing? Saw the message on Discord. I'm doing well. Are you talking about the message where L9 beat me? Because I tried tagging you and I don't think I know what your Discord name is. When does this get hit? When does this get hit? Start new script. Right there. Script edit header. Start new script. Seriously? This is different from... If I click this plus button, that's different from this plus button? No, they're the same. Huh, I wonder if that's the problem though. Oh. Okay, yeah, I tried tagging you like I said. I just didn't get it. Thanks for letting me know. How you doing, Clayman? Because I'm running into a bug here that is pretty annoying. But I still wonder, is start new script the cause of this? Debug main store to get state, workbench reducer, placeholder script ID is null. And so when I finally hit create, does that get set? Negative 101. Oh man, it's gonna be annoying. Yeah. There's some way that this can get out of sync. Well, actually, it's not even that. It's some way that placeholder script ID can be set at the time of deleting or after deleting a script. How would that happen? So we need to go into here and we need to delete this. And now it's gonna be null. And then we somehow need to set it back to the thing that doesn't exist, which I doubt is possible. Maybe it had to do with duplicating. This happens, but we need to duplicate a new script. So we click new. No, wait, we click new. We do this. We can't duplicate a new script though. So I guess we create that, edit, make a change, and then hit duplicate. And that saves. And then we delete the old one or something? Is that what happened? No, I can't figure it out. Okay, I don't know. I don't know what we do. We got slightly better logging. And then this is the other thing. We shouldn't be sending deletions for temporary IDs. In fact, I think this will always be a bug. And it'll be a client-side bug. So maybe what we do is, maybe if we see any negative deletions, we put a breakpoint on the client and pop up a message saying contact Adam. Yeah, maybe that's what we do. So redux util, because I don't think this was ever, if I just stringify changes dot deletions, or not even that, if I just, yeah, right here, if I do that. I don't think this can ever have negative numbers. What is that? So I go into a script, I hit delete, and then I save the script. Okay, hang on a second. Someone's, I think, knocking at the door. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry, that was was a little strange. There's someone who came to knock at the door who apparently just had the wrong place. But it took longer than I would have expected to clarify that confusion. Hey, chicken nugget robber. Yeah, someone's here to contact me because of the error. Alright. So that definitely sidetracked me. Yeah, changes deletions 14. I don't think this can ever be negative. So if we do ever see something that's negative, put this here. Const old ID equals old redux script.id. Old ID. If old ID is less than 0, then we're going to pop up a dialog, which we can't actually do from here. I mean, I could just do a window.alert. But what information do I want here? That's a great way to not get many bug reports. They have to be done in person. Yeah, this is the last part of this I need to figure out. Script deletion should never be on temporary scripts. That indicates a client-side error. So the thing is, I could just cut this out, and I wouldn't have a problem here. Or like, I probably wouldn't have a problem, but I want to figure out why this is happening. We could just ignore these, but then I wouldn't know where the underlying bug was. This problem when it showed up. AK1 Morse. Okay. Have you had any burnouts? And if so, how'd you deal with it? Oh yeah, definitely. And how did I deal with it? It's almost always dealt with exactly the same way, and it's just take some time off. That's it. I think, well, there's one other thing you do, and you make sure you don't hit your burnout again by not working as hard as how you got into the burnout. So I guess two things. Yeah, take time off, and then make sure you're not putting in too much time in the future. Yeah, I may. Okay, so here's another thing that happened. So I told you guys since like summertime, basically, this has been months that we've been trying to get certain blinds in our place, and they came and installed them and they were the wrong size. Then they came back and installed them and they didn't. There was like some problem with the blinds themselves. So now on Friday they're supposed to come back. Well, each time they've said they'd show up. Like the first time they said they'd show up at like 10, and I think they showed up at 9. Then the next time they said they'd show up at 2 or something, and they showed up at like 12:30. So they showed up an hour early and then an hour and a half early. And now I'm afraid they're going to show up like 2 hours early. And this is supposed to be on Friday. So I'm thinking I might take Friday afternoon off. I pretty much have to, because they can show up at any point in that like 2 hour window. So I was thinking, instead of taking Wednesday off, what if I took half of Wednesday and half of Friday? Using the blinds excuse again? No, I don't know what else to do. I'm not going to be like streaming in this room while someone else is in our bedroom. I don't trust them. Yeah. So if old ID is less than 0, we need to do something here, and I just need to figure out why. What information would help me identify the problem? I guess placeholder script ID. Maybe just your entire Redux state? Oh, the blind man. The blinds man, you mean? I thought, how would a blind man have found the underwear drawer? Yeah, placeholder script ID would definitely be helpful. Yeah, I think the entire Redux state. I think that's what we need. So let's go test this out. We're going to go to Redux util. We need the Redux store, which we do have actually, surprisingly, right there. Yeah. So we could just do const state equals store.getState. We only need this to print out once though. So let's just say let fatal error equals false. We'll just put fatal error equals true here. And then down here, if fatal error yeah, it might have been worth it originally. I was just pretty worried I'd screw something up. Also, all of these subsequent visits, everything's been free. So it's not like we've had to pay for anything. So whatever exorbitant price we paid to begin with is now covering the rest of it, which is pretty nice. It's not so exorbitant when you get them to come to your house like 4 times. So we want to print out this entire thing. Let's just do, well, no, let's have a proper error message. Note you're probably about to see an error. Please yeah. F12 and read the instructions in your console. Now I need to make it very clear. Please read this. Fatal error. Yeah. You've hit a bug that I haven't been able to track down. The state that I need. I could just, this is all silly. I could just have this contact the server for you and not do any of this garbage. Yeah, it really wasn't that bad. Yeah, it's probably not too bad, but I was still afraid I'd mess it up. And there are certain things, I feel everyone has this, where you do a task that someone else does, and for some reason for you it's just unbelievably stressful. So for example, if I'm trying to find parking in a busy city, I just lose it. Like, that's it. It's just over for me. I, for some reason, break down completely. Well, I think this stuff is really stressful for me too, and I don't know why. I'm generally a pretty patient person, but I don't know what it is. Yeah, I just can't deal with that stuff. What are those stressful things for you guys that other people seem to be able to handle and you just can't manage? I don't want to be the only one pouring out my soul here. Alright, please read this. You hit a bug. Hit a bug that I haven't been able to reproduce. Haven't been able to track down. I'd like it if you could copy paste the state that you see in your console. You usually press F12 to open the console. And then privately send it to me. Either via any of the links, the social links at Hot.land, which works best. Yeah. Okay. Why do you use character symbol instead of quote symbol for text? Just curious. I like using single quotes pretty much everywhere, but in this case I really should just be using backticks anyway. And hey Pablo, reading? If I know I have a big event tomorrow, I'm likely not going to sleep that night. No, Clayman, that's not exactly what I'm talking about. I think big events stress a lot of people out. I'm talking about something like, yeah, like what M. Perry said or what Fled said. Something that most people just do for fun, like garden work. Some people just garden. It's just fun for them. Remember, M. Perry, it's like, apparently the worst thing in the world. No exaggeration. Logger.info or logger.error state. We're gonna test this out too. JSON.stringify state. And we're gonna make sure that this works. So all we have to do is, so this is super annoying. I want to be able to just do this so I don't have to worry about this. Strings must use quotes. ESLint disable. What is this? ESLint dash disable. And where's the quotes one? Let's just go find that. Yeah, here. So we copy this over to Redux util. We put this, I don't know where, here? I don't think so. I think you put it here. You can't do that. Well, you can do that, but it doesn't look good. Can I do that? How does this work? It's got to be this kind of comment. And then can we re-enable them here? And then what if I do console.log hello? This should give me an error now. This didn't even work. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's working fine. Okay, great. Yeah, this is what we need to test. So we're just going to set fatal error to true and we're going to see what happens. This is really obnoxious. Yeah, there are certain chores I just don't like. I spend a ton of time doing dishes. I don't mind that. But if you ever ask me to iron something, I'm just going to be like, no, we're not going to do it. Clothes don't need to be ironed. I never really learned how to do it efficiently, so it always takes me forever. Fatal error, please read this. You hit a bug that I haven't been able to track down. I'd like it if you could copy paste the state that you see in your console. So press F12. And this failed. Well, that's nice. This shouldn't be a circular structure. I wonder what's making it one. Let's find out. Hey, Devana. Just like doing the laundry. So that one's fine. Battle log reducer. Except for I didn't just type that. What happened? That one works. Which one of these is failing? That's fine. 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 So far, so good for all of these things. Be nice if it just told me. Their last action? Seriously? What is state.last action? Oh, really? Oh man, that's messed up. Well, we don't really need the full state, I guess, but some of this would help. Hey, Monadic Bind. Do you have all your clothes ironed? No, I just don't iron anything because I don't like doing it. Yeah, so this is what's failing here. I wonder if we just get rid of state.last action. Like if I just deep cloned this whole thing. And then out of curiosity, if I just did that, would that be good enough? Clone deep shouldn't copy prototypes, right? Let's see. Did it? Did that work? No. Because clone state still can't copy last action. Well, there's a way I wanted to fix this, which is not very difficult. We just do delete clone state dot last action. And then we try again and hopefully it works. I'm just really trying to hack this together right now. Yeah. So someone would have to copy all of this. What is this giant blob right here? Was this a base 64 image? logo image data. That's a little crazy. Also, I don't want any of this stuff to begin with. Login state or lobby reducer. Just get rid of that. Hey, Luculus. T-shirt that costs $300 or $400. Hang on, coach. Okay, how's that? Is that better? I mean, I guess we also don't need this stuff. This is a huge waste of time. What is that? Inventory reducer? Yeah, that doesn't matter. I'm just trying to get this to the point where if you're going to copy paste something to me, it's not so crazy. So this is what we're left with. And even some of this stuff's probably not really necessary, but let's take a look. So my player, I feel like we need that. Join game, I don't know about this. Block lead, we don't really need. Salvage, modal, settings. Settings might actually come in handy. This we definitely need. This is all the really important stuff. In-game reducer, match results. Battle log, I don't really need your battle log. I don't really need your mission log. But it doesn't hurt to have those. So let's leave it at that. Yep, that's how programming goes. Okay, great. So now we only want to do this in the case that there really was a fatal error. Let's try this. So if I just hit save defense, nothing's going to print out on the console, right? Yeah. Also, I got to figure out what extension this is. This has nothing to do with botland. This is showing up on every single page I go to. I guess maybe we could just look up this extension by that hash. Can we do that? Chrome extensions. Honey. Why would Honey be running on botland? I wonder if I should just disable it. Can I... Ooh. Hang on, let me take a look at this off screen for a sec. I don't know. I want to like temporarily disable it and only... I tweeted about Honey yesterday. Yeah. Well, it's annoying. I don't know what I'm supposed to do about this. Honey giving me a warning on botland. It's not like there's anything to buy on here. But I guess that's the whole point, is it's supposed to work on any page that has a store, and maybe that's what's happening, is it's seeing that there's a store here. But I should probably do something about that. Can you temporarily disable extensions? Let me take a look at that. Extensions. Oh yeah, you can. Okay, I'll just disable it. There, done. Now when I reload the page, I shouldn't get that warning, right? Yeah, easy peasy. Okay, great. Compared to the time it took to make it, just to celebrate when playtime is greater than programming time. Yeah, I don't have any playtime stats for players though. I could kind of approximate, but yeah, I don't log how long the client is open for. I guess Google might though. Incognito mode? That would work. Yeah. But then I'd have to do all my development in incognito mode. Okay, so let's try this, and let's also go check this in. Honey reads all the data on all pages you visit. Yeah, I should only have it turned on when I'm actually going to buy something. Okay, so none of this matters. We don't care about that. What we care about is whatever the little changes I just made. So this one, for example, which was just... No, that doesn't count. Yeah, this is just a comment. That's fine to keep in there. And Redux util. And a change to the game server, I believe. this to log everything. Yeah, so improve logging in an error case. And perhaps other users ran into a script deletion bug that seems to be very similar to wherever that ski dog issue was, which I just looked at and forgot the number. Oh, issue number 129. I can't figure out how it happened just by looking at the code, and I don't have repro steps, so logging, it's the only way I can think to handle this for now. Great, well, let's write down all the investigation from this. So what was the error? Cannot delete a script that you don't own. I don't actually know how to reproduce this. It was reported by Arbaki and is potentially affecting multiple players. It seems very similar to 129. The repro steps despite not being complete, here are the repro steps that I deduced. That didn't work. There we go. We'll make that bold. The journaling I implemented was only for bot actions. Yeah, although Redux has, I mean, I could save the entire state of what you did to get to that point in the UI. I'd need to clean that up a bit though. And then I could just have that get uploaded to the server whenever there's any problem like this. But I haven't done that. So let's take a look. This error shows up on the game server. So user details, name, ID, on newest client version, not upgrading defense. And there was also a picture that was included here. Where did that picture go? I don't see it. And I don't really need it, but let's go look at the chat logs. And how do we find this? I guess just scroll down. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, I don't think there's too much I can learn from this picture. The most important thing was just that they're not upgrading. That's it. Yeah. Still, it wouldn't hurt me to put that picture in the bug. You should only need the start state and a list of actions to repro. Yeah, that's true. Well, you also need, I guess, well, I guess that's part of the action, is what the action included. Yeah. Yeah, but I still need to set that up at some point. So some investigation details. So because the ID was negative 100, we know this script has to be a new script that was deleted. Also, you can't possibly own, so this means that the deletion is unnecessary and shouldn't even be sent from the client eventually. I'm just going to include these details here. I don't know how helpful they're going to be for me in the future. Take care, Monadic Bind. Thanks for dropping in. You have a great day. Okay, and then we'll write, I don't know, stopgap solutions for logging. After version 0.2.2, the client will pop up a fatal error dialog. Hey Ash, where should you report bugs? Yeah, well, sorry, that was the blog post. You can report them at the GitHub link there. And thanks for asking, by the way. There's also, if you just do this through the game, like let's say you've logged in already, if you just click report bug at the upper right, it'll fill in some details automatically for you, like your player ID and your name. So you can do it there. Huh. My defense was going undefeated until just now, and now my defense rate is plummeting. Thankfully, Pawn doesn't know how to beat it yet. I should probably improve it though. What this means, people are getting better at botland, I think. If you hit this, I then have to rely on such a user pasting this state to me so that I can figure out more. I also added some logging to the server in the error case. Cool. Negative 20 is nothing. Yeah, I wonder where this puts me on the defense leaderboard. In third. How ghastly. Yeah, 1761. Nomad's doing really well, apparently. And Crailton I played against and could not figure out how to beat him. Or them, I should say. I should not ever play him or her. Okay, great. So let's close out of this stuff. I've written all this down. I didn't actually get to finish what I had started with there. You're the highest combined offense and defense. What does that mean? You're the best botland player? Is that what you're trying to say, Pawn? 17, 23, and 15, 10. So 32, 33.76. And I mean, I'd have to look through everybody, I guess, to find out if there's anyone better. But this looks pretty close. Flat. 32.69. Wait, 32.70 actually. No, yeah. Fled is actually higher than you. Yep, look no further. Fled's a better botland player. Okay, so I'm trying to log in. I just wanted to add to this error message. That's all. Let's go do that. So this comes from the account server REST client. So you can probably ignore any errors that pop up. Okay, let's just do that. So what this is doing is if we cut out traffic to the servers and I hit login, it says the botland servers are online but unavailable, probably because they're being upgraded. Try again over the next hour or so. Also note, you can probably ignore any errors that pop up after this one. So if you actually read that and you click OK, and then you see another error, server not exposed, then that'd be fine. There are two dialogues that are popping up there, though. I wonder which ones are prompting that. Let's do it this way. So one is coming from a check account validity. Really? I feel like, yeah, I just feel like this is a bad idea. Maybe some of these just shouldn't have that middleware. Or maybe I shouldn't worry about this so much. I mean, are you really going to be that confused if you see a couple of error messages? Maybe. But the first one is telling you what's going on here. Like, hey, just try again in a bit. So you have to click away because there's a bunch of these. The other thing I could do is try to stop duplicate error messages from showing up. So if I see that this error message is exactly the same as the last one in the stack, maybe I just don't let it go through. Would that ever come back to bite me? No, I'm not going to worry about this right now. We'll just have it be as it is. So we did this. Can't use middleware to block pre-flight calls. Yeah. So I did this. Differentiate between a proper error and soft error of the servers not accepting traffic at the time. Did I do this? Also, there's one linting error and it's this. God, I don't like this error message. This linter warning, I mean. Because there's no easy way to stop this from happening. I have to go do this disable, enable garbage. There. Yeah, I think this is done. I think there's just one last thing left to do. And that's when you first load botland and the servers aren't accepting traffic, show a specific error message. This can be a little separate from what we already had. And all I'm talking about here is this. You just load up the page for the first time and it says it's offline. It's actually not offline. It's just being upgraded. Yeah. Should have a different message. Hey, Crucial. Can you do anything in the game when the servers are not reachable? Well, you need to relog in anyway. You can't do anything in the game. Well, not really. You can't do anything. I mean, you can go like look through some things maybe. And will you need to relog in? No, you won't. Not the way everything's coded right now, at least. So I'll show you an example really fast. If we set traffic to enabled, then we can log in. So now let's say I'm messing around with my defense, right? I'm like this and this and this and then I disable traffic. And you're like, oh, let me save. And you can't. So it says the servers are online but unavailable. And then it says couldn't save your defense. Then you finally try to again after some time and you hit save and it successfully works. So I didn't need to log in again. And now when I go back into this, it should be the defense I just updated. Yeah, cool. So yeah, that works. And that's, I think, pretty good. There are cases where that wouldn't work. For example, if... Actually, there's a bunch of cases where that wouldn't work. Yeah, if I updated the client version, eventually you would see an error saying you're not on the newest client version. So you need to refresh the page. Hey, Blueberry King. urge you to take a look at Docker. Upgrading and rolling back is painless. Also, that account server is offline and upgrading would be completely useless and good for business. Wait, Wanted, I'm not sure if you're understanding why this is there. I know what Docker does, but it wouldn't help me with this particular case. Like, this is a case of I have this infrastructure, and what I need to do is make sure that everything gets updated at the same time, and they're all running on different machines. So what happens right now, and this is what the problem is. Let me show you this really fast. So let's just say everything is version 1 right now. Like this is 1, this is 1, this is 1, this is 1, and this is 1. And I want to update them to 2. And so in the process, I'm like, okay, let's put a new Docker container on here. Let's put a new Docker container on here. At this point, not everything's been updated. So if players can already access